So I just realized it seems like all the videos we're doing today is all fucking based off the wall, right? That being said, today's video is another exercise with the rubber bands. Once, you know, for a long time, a lot of people give people shit about using the rubber bands in their training methods. But if you actually use them the right way, they're a phenomenal tool to add to your training arsenal because they just let you do so many things that you can't do or modify with your traditional barbells, kettlebells, and dumbbells. And it lets you work angles and motions that are very hard to recreate, all right? One of them being this particular stretch we're gonna do. Now, for everybody out there who has lower back pain and like hip pain and all that other shit, one of the main stretches you're gonna hear anybody tell you about is stretching out your quads, right? Now, in order to successfully stretch out your quad muscles, there's 4 muscles you have to stretch out, all right? I'm not gonna name all 4 muscles right now, but your quadriceps, keyword quad, is made up of 4 different muscles, all right? Some of them that cross over the knee, some of them that cross over the hip, all right? So that being said, in order to successfully stretch out this particular muscle group, you have to not only close the knee, but you have to open up the hip also. Where, like, you guys know for a fact, my left side is fucking trash. So I'm gonna do a basic quad stretch, right, that most people do. And for me, it's kind of tight, but you can see even like this, my knee is closed, but my hip is still kind of open. I'm not all the way extended with it. I'd have to arch, right? So, one of the exercises that we've taken and modified over the years is, we call it a zombie quad stretch, and I'm gonna show you why, right? So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna kneel down on the ground. Now this is the most important part. Look at my feet. You'll see a lot of people do these stretches like this with their toes out and the heels in. You're gonna fucking tear your knee. Don't do that shit. You see a lot of people do these stretches with their toes tucked underneath them. Don't do that, you're not getting the stretch. Toes flat to the ground, heels out like this, right? It's gonna let your shins rotate at the right angle and your hip move the right way, and good things are gonna happen, all right? If you do it the other way, bad things might happen. Now, what'll typically happen, right? People wanna tell you to go all the way down, lay back, stretch the quads, come back up. Now, I got a bad left knee, so I can't go down unassisted, but what I can do is I can use a rubber band, that's what we've been talking about, to help me out with the stretch, right? Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. Now, first and foremost, make sure your rubber band's not gonna snap. Check it for rips, tears, and fucking damage. Make sure your rubber band's not gonna come off the fucking thing. If you're hooking it onto a pull-up bar, make sure you're not gonna pull it off the pull-up bar. You wanna make sure you're not gonna die in the process. That would be a bad start to your workout, right? However, once you know you're not gonna die or get hurt, you're gonna use your rubber band in a couple different ways. I'm just gonna show you how to hold on to slowly lower yourself down and back into the stretch. Now, typically, I'm a big fan of ballistic stretching in a controlled environment. Because what it does, it gives your body a chance to bring up the scar tissue and really get down to these lower positions where you can see how I'm starting by driving my hips all the way forward. You see how I'm driving my pelvis forward? Think about the most inappropriate motion possible, do that. And then from there, I'm gonna sit back and try to open the knee up, right? And what happens, I'm just gonna bounce up and down as I go. And little by little, I'm gonna warm up, stretching my quads more to eventually where I can get all the way down. Now, one of the things you always hear me talk about, especially in today's society, is how everybody's got this like forward lean, right? We have very weakened backside muscles, the posterior chain, everything along my shoulder blades, my lats, my lower back, my glutes, my hamstrings, all that. And we have very overactive front chain muscles, right? The neck muscles, the chest, the abs, the hip flexor, we try to stabilize like this. So I am a huge, now, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I showed this to people in the beginning, and I got a lot of shit for it. However, I was able to manipulate people into trying it, and they really ended up liking it. So give it a shot, right? Once you know your band's not gonna snap on you, you put the band around your neck. Why? Because that's gonna force me, fuck this pad, that's gonna force me to keep my shoulder blades tight. You're not gonna throw your neck out, you're not gonna tweak your neck, don't worry, you'll be fine. Some of you chiropractors are like, oh my God, that looks so bad. Shut up, it's fine, right? And what I'm gonna do, it's gonna force me to keep my shoulder blades tight, and now I'm stretching out the front side of my body, but my shoulder blade muscles, see how much easier it is for me to get down? My shoulder blades are tight, my hips are forward, I'm in this better position where it's easier for me to go up and down and just control the motion. Now you can see why you'd wanna make sure the band would not come off the wall when you're going, because that'd be a bad start to your day. But if you can do it in a secured, safe fashion, I typically do 20 reps, like my right knee's a little tight today, but I can get down a little bit lower and a little bit lower every time to where I'm in these positions where I can really open up those muscles and get the mobility I need in the front side of my body. And I would do that for like reps, time, whatever it is, and then I would safely come out of it, right? Always want to come out of a stretch like this slow, because you're going to be getting an extended stretch than what you're used to. Typically when you do your stretches, right, you're going to notice the first 20 to 30 seconds you do any kind of stretch, your body's going to go into guarding mode, meaning your body's sensing a sudden tension that it's not used to, and it's going to tense up to try to protect itself from like ripping, tearing, whatever, right? After those first 20 to 30 seconds, you're going to drop into a second level of stretch. So I would feel like maybe my quads initially tight up here, and then you would notice that tension would shift down a little lower. Because what happened is your body realized, hey, this is okay, we're not going to have anything bad happen, let's relax a little bit. And then I always get the two confused. It's either elastin or relaxin. I always fuck it up. I've been fucking it up for 20 years. Your body releases a chemical that's gonna let those muscles relax a little more, and you'll go a little deeper into that stretch. That's your secondary stretch, all right? After your secondary stretch, 20 or 30 seconds is gonna go by again, and then you're gonna have your third stretch. Well, your third stretch is really where you're gonna get most of your work out of. That's what's gonna happen, is that, that chemical is gonna be released again, the tension is gonna shift a little more, and then you're gonna feel the stretch in the spot that 9 out of 10 times you typically need it in the most. So for those of you guys who do these stretches where you're just holding it for like 20 or 30 seconds and that's it, you're missing the entire point of the stretch. Less stretches held for longer periods of time will almost always do you better than like trying to do everything in a short period of time, because when you focus on everything, you get nothing done, all right? I myself tell our people in our group, try to focus on just 2 or 3 stretches each day. You can cycle through which ones you focus on, but you'll get more out of the individual stretch that day and you'll make more progress long term. Once again, that is a zombie quad stretch. All we have is a rubber band securely hooked up to a wall that we can use to help lower us down safely as time goes on, to where we can get a better stretch out of the hip by completely opening up the hip and by completely closing the knee. Put that in your crack pipe and smoke it. Give it a shot. If you got any kind of tear in like your meniscus or your ACL or anything like that, I'd probably check with your physical therapist first, because it could put a little pressure in there you might not want to have. Or if you have vertigo. If you have vertigo, you might not want to put your head backwards, you might get dizzy. Other than that, it's a phenomenal exercise. Like I said, like always, if you have questions on that, reach out so we can give you some clarity and guidance on that. Hopefully that helped you guys out. And thanks for stopping by. See you guys in the next one.